It's good to be back. What's up? What's happening? What's going on, everybody? Welcome back to Mission Station, which is for anything and everything Mission, including player heroes fighting for the fate of the world, as well as TV and movies and host shows and spawn. Welcome back to Academia April 2. Let's talk about Season 2, Episode... What was it again? Episode 19. Thank you. Season 2, Episode 19, aka Episode 32, titled Everyone's Internships. This episode's not going to take very long to talk about because it is a filler episode. This is the episode following after the aftermath of Hero Killer Stain, where we get to see some more about the internships from all the other people in Class 1A, specifically all the girl characters that were not in the original... Their stories were not in the original manga. So, that's pretty cool, if you ask me. It's pretty cool. So, yeah, it's going to be a pretty interesting discussion today, and it's mainly around Asui's story specifically, which was not in the original manga at all. It was a completely anime original creation. So, without further ado, why don't we take a minute to just talk about it? So, let's go through it nice and quick, not wasting any more time. So we have Izuku still remaining in the hospital, which is all the screen time he gets in this episode, because this is all about the rest of the characters. So we have Bakugo and Best Jeanist patrolling the streets, and Bakugo losing his cool over some kids. Then we have Ochiko learning from Gunhead. Again, we have Kendo and Yaoyorozu accompanying Owabami through the public, as she's surrounded by a bunch of fans. Kirishima and Tetsutetsu cleaning up a local park with Fourth Kind, and Kyoka Jiro with death arms going through a real rescue mission. And now we go to the main part of the story. Yeah, that's literally all the screen time everyone else gets in this entire episode. This entire episode is all around Asui's internship specifically, where she works on an Oki Mariner ship, and she's with Selkie, who is the sidekick. Well, she's talking to Sirius, who is the sidekick of Selkie. And they have a conversation for a little bit until the captain comes around and scolds them for not getting their chores done, even though they did get the chores done, so yeah. Then we had the Mariner departing to investigate a trade ship that's had its cargo stolen by stowaways. Captain Selkie takes to the water himself to search for the ship, and he can swim faster than a normal human because he can literally do anything a seal can. That's literally what the quirk's called, seal. While Asui and Sirius search via radar during the night. Their search turns up empty, but the crew receives a message that a boat thought to belong to the stowaways is in their general area after escaping another pursuer. Selkie returns to the ship after confirming the location of the boat, and they eventually happen upon it. Selkie boards the ship without Asui, telling her to stay behind. Meanwhile, on board this fishing boat, Selkie and a couple of his crewmates end up getting trapped inside after being fooled to fall through a giant trapdoor. Using her quirk, Sirius hears Selkie through some kind of code text tell her that this boat was a decoy and they have to pursue the real stowaways. So they find another boat hiding in the shadows, and they immediately board it just to get attacked by Innsmouth, the ringleader of this entire criminal organization that's doing all this bad stuff. Yeah, sorry, I'm running out of words today. And we have Innsmouth threatening to crush Sirius because he has the entire tentacle around her mouth that can easily crush her to pieces. But instead, Asui gives away the location, and Asui avoids the blows using her frog powers, and she tries to use her tongue to pin her down, but it doesn't work, as she just gets slammed into rocks. And that's when Selkie arrives to save the day, but because of his seal quirk, he can echolocate and still defeats the villain even despite being blinded by his ink. Afterwards, Asui tells Sirius she discovered what's important about being a hero, which they don't really elaborate much on. The criminals are all arrested, and the Coast Guard thanks Asui for her involvement, or Froppy, as she's now known by. So, yeah, that's pretty much the episode. It's short, it's sweet, and it's to the point. But it's fun, and I do like how they actually made something original for the anime that wasn't in the actual manga. You don't get that very often with anime. Like, maybe every now and then you'll get something that's not from a manga, but it is a very, very rare occurrence. So, yeah, it's always cool to see some extra creativity thrown in there. So with all that said, let's go through our final thoughts, shall we? Technically a filler episode with the focus on the internships of all the other characters, specifically all the female characters. But considering what they had to come up with for Froppy's in particular is actually original and not from the manga, it's pretty impressive. I do like what they came up with, and I do really like this episode. The Captain Selkie is a pretty fun character. The plot is solid. It's basic, but it's solid. Asui is not sidelined the entire time. Thank goodness, it would have sucked otherwise. And the ultimate antagonist being a giant octopus is actually really cool, as is the battle that follows. Seriously, the battle is pretty fun. Not to mention, there's still some pretty funny moments with the other characters. Again, Bakugo completely failing in his internship with Best Jeanist being the highlight. That is sprinkled throughout the start of the episode. That being said, though, it is still filler, so you could theoretically skip it if you wanted to and not miss a thing. But honestly, this is one of those times where I think you shouldn't skip it. It's a lot like the Piccolo and Goku driving school episode from Dragon Ball Z. It's filler, but it's so funny that it's actually worth watching. I know I didn't talk about it because I talked about Kai, not the original Z, but you get my point. Not every filler episode has to be skipped. You can skip it, but it doesn't have to be. This is one of the times where I think you shouldn't, because this episode is pretty fun. It's pretty fun, it has some hilarious moments, and I, again, give them credit for doing something original for the anime. To give a little extra context that the manga itself just skimmed over and did nothing with. So, yeah, that's pretty much it. It's an anime original episode, and it's a pretty good one, so final verdict, 7 out of 10. Check it out if you haven't seen it yet. It's fun. That's really all I can say about it. It's fun. Alright. I'll see you guys next time where we finally conclude the Versus Hero Killer Stain arc for real with its actual final episode. That being Season 2, Episode 20, Listen Up, A Tale from the Past.
Deciding for what comes up ahead. Hey.